Hi there, this is an old man from his basement. And what you're looking at there is 25 pounds of soapstone that I bought for working on this winter. I've carved a number of things. Most of them are stone or ice and wood, but I started messing around with stone this summer. So I made this little guy from a kit that came from Amazon, that's soapstone. And I made this fish here just from a rock I found in a lake. I believe it's limestone. But what I did find is that any work that you do with power tools, like an angle grinder or anything like that, makes one heck of a mess. And Mrs. Old Man hates dirt. So when I got the soapstone, I should be able to do all of that with simple hand tools, but I don't really know that for a fact. So I brought all of my different carving stuff to try to see what works on this soapstone. I did do this one with nothing more than a rasp and a pocket knife, but I don't know if my soapstone is the same kind of hardness or not. It might be much harder. I might need to use other tools. So today is really all about experimenting to see what works on any of this. Okay, so a few things I have managed to learn so far is that this may be the most invaluable tool of all. It's a leg of an old pair of jeans filled with sand. Just zip tie the ends and you make a sandbag that holds whatever you're doing steady, and then when you're pounding it helps absorb all of the pressure, and it doesn't make the really old kitchen table from the cottage keep wiggling. And I'm also going to explain a little bit about all of these badly rusted tools, and I feel bad about them. Generally what I do is ice carving with some wood, and I am a professional ice carver, but somebody was helping me and they decided to try some of these wood chisels on things, and I did not see they put them into the carrying case wet, so everything got very rusty. And I only do ice carving in the winter time, so I did not find them until just now when they look really bad. I'm gonna have to clean them up. Sorry about that. But the statement where they say that a wood chisel will work on soapstone is definitely true. I was just doing this little thing here, which isn't very big at all, but it's managing to round the top of that very well, and I used a little V-chisel to get into here. So I thought maybe I might be able to turn this guy into maybe a little lizard or a frog. We'll see if it cracks or not, because again, I'm just messing around with tools here to see what they do and what works. We'll see how it goes. And it occurred to me that somebody's going to be going, oh my God, don't do it that way. That's totally not the right way to do it. And that's probably true, because I know, in most YouTube videos, you're watching somebody who at least has some level of expertise in this. This is stone carving, which I've never done much of. I don't know the answers. I am not an expert in it, and that's why I'm trying to try everything out to see that I can gain some expertise in it. It's going okay so far. Alright, so I think this little guy going fairly alright, or at least he was. So far that I have figured out that this right here is my favorite chisel for working on soapstone. So far it's worked better than all of the rest of them. I am kind of keen with this one. And just a little small to medium gouge. And that's done just about all of this, and that was looking really great until I just broke off his leg. That's just the way of it. I'm just messing around trying to get tools, so unfortunately I'm not going to have a real great little frog guy here, but I learned something. And then obviously too, there's a limit to what you can do for details in this kind of stone and how strong it's going to be. Plus, you never know if you're just, is there some sort of weak inclusion in there? You're just never going to know. This guy is really small, so I'm not surprised he broke. I did switch to my cut-resistant gloves because I am working with blades. I have tried a lot of different things. But so far, these guys here have worked better than everything else. In my little broken guy here, somebody's saying, "Oh, how did you flatten that out? Did you do that all with a chisel?" And no, I did that with a rasp. And it only cuts one way on the rasp. But it does a very good job. It's like sandpaper, but stone. But I don't like saying that because I actually do have some wet, dry sandpaper that you use much later on when you want to polish. But this definitely removes an awful lot of material. Okay, so I was next left with the question, what do I do if I need to cut a bigger piece? So that's kind of what I've got set up here. It's just an old wood bow saw. It never cut very straight when I was doing wood. So I thought, well, I can switch this over and use it for stone. And it cuts right through there really well. So there we go. Another lesson learned. Okay, so this is the piece that I cut off. And I've just kind of drawn some shapes with some compass here. And I'm gonna try to carve out what hopefully will look like a little ornament. And I'd love to give you maybe some time-lapse shots of it, but I really don't have a stand, so we'll just have to check in later. Okay, so here's a look at the ornament, because I kind of got it going pretty far on it. This is a spot where I could talk again about how you never know when you're going to find an inclusion, and that's what I did have. I kind of had a ring on the top here of stone, and as I'm tunneling through it, you hit this rotten patch, which you can see from the different color there, and it broke right off. And I mean, you know, this was never going to be an awesome ornament because it's got all of these holes in it. And I'm really more using it as an experiment to learn. But still, it's really disappointing when something like that happens, because it was starting to look like something, and now it's not. But, you know, you never know what you're going to get. Alrighty, here's our little ornament again. Sorry for getting my fingers in front of the lens. I don't have a stand for my phone. So here's a little guy, and if the stone itself wasn't rotten, it'd probably be a cute little doodad, and all I'd have to do is maybe hot glue a little loop of wire there to make a hanger, and hang it in your tree and it looks fine. So I'm pressing ahead anyway. So before I start wet sanding this, I thought you might appreciate it knowing what kind of color the stone is. And I'm sure some of you are thinking, what do you mean? I'm looking right at it. It's not really going to look the same once it gets wet. See how all those other colors just jump out of there like that? That's the true color of the stone. And after you sanded it, got it really down there, it would really look great. And then you can either varnish it or wax it. Typically I would wax it. At least that's what I did on the one little Amazon guy. But it would be pretty easy to just spray paint this top silver, and then sand the rest of it to be this kind of other color. So if the stone didn't have holes in it, this would be a nifty little doodad. And I couldn't resist messing with it a little more. So there it is. I filled in the holes with some black wood putty because there was already black spots in the stone. And then painted the top with some silver spray paint and glued a little loop on it. And this time for protection, I am trying a little polyurethane. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, sometimes, you know, even some junky stone can make something a little cute. So if you like watching videos of novel things that people have a knack for, please subscribe to Novel Knacks. Thanks.